I thought we competed. We came back and really competed after Michigan State. It's unfortunate that our defense wasn't as good as it's been all season long. For us to score 82, 23 assists, 12 turnovers, I mean, the stats look fantastic. But unfortunately, we couldn't get stops when we needed to. And, we go back to the drawing board. We'll go back to work tomorrow. We got to keep showing up. That's what I told him, keep showing up. We finally saw the ball go through the basket, which is an incredible positive, and we needed that. So we got that confidence on that side. It's kind of like golf, right? You're able to hit the tee ball, but you can't putt. Or you're able to knock it off the tee, and you're making putts. So that's what tonight was for me. It was very interesting not to be able to get stops. They did a good job. Franny does a great job. But they're juniors that are a little older, and they made the right plays down the last few minutes of the game where we turned it over a little bit and didn't get that one offensive rebound and left Bohannon, a couple mental errors there. So we'll watch film. We'll continue to get better. That locker room was down, which is good. And that means to me investment. That means to me I want to get better. That means to me I'm going to show up tomorrow. So I look forward to getting back to work with these kids.
Pat, this game was played at a different offensive pace than you guys are used to. I know probably early in the season you preferred to do it, but do you think there was an element of guys getting tired? Because it looked like there were several key mistakes in the final 2 minutes, whether it were turnovers, offensive rebounds, or missing a couple of free throws. Obviously, Mike looked tired.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tired when you miss shots. So I don't know if it's tired from – because these guys are thoroughbreds. Greg Miskinnis does an incredible job of preparing them to play at a high level. And we're in the middle of January right now, and we've done a nice job of shortening practice and being smart with their minds and their bodies. So we can't let missing shots or making a mistake on defense really affect what's going on. And we did. We made those mistakes.
And was Lamar – it looked like he was short-arming a lot of shots. He was getting doubled a lot. I know that, but – I saw him take an incredible number of shots before the game, maybe 200. I was wondering if that may have played into him not being kind of as effective as he usually is.
You know what? Lamar's working really hard. He is. He's getting in the gym. He's not happy with his jump shot right now. It's unfortunate. It really is, because he's working. He's working so hard. He's in here. If you ask me who's one of the most hardest working guy on this team, it'd be Lamar Stevens. He'd be right up there with Rozier Bolton and DK.
Pat, this is the most the offense has clicked in really a long time. Can you point to anything particular as to why you guys clicked at this moment, and specifically against the zone that they ran in the second half?
We play with a lot of pace and tempo. I thought Jamari Wheeler played fantastic. 7 assists, 1 turnover, made some shots. He's starting to see the ball go through the basket, which is great. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, made a 3. That's great production from him. I think he was the guy that really got the tempo going for us. And that's the way Iowa plays, right? They play a little bit like Michigan State. They get the ball out quick. They're pushing on makes and misses. So it's going to be a high possession game. And I think that's the best thing for us. Even though we're not finding success right now, sometimes we're going to grind it, but I felt like today we wanted to push it, and it worked for the most part. But then we just got to close the door. I mean, we've been in a lot of games now. I'm going to say 8. We've only won 2 in the last 4 minutes. So, again, that's experiences that we have to go through in order to come out the other side.
How do you talk to these guys about some of those pass attempts later in the game? It seems like they were just kind of low percentage takes they tried to pull off. How do you kind of balance the confidence with that?
Just watch the film, show them, talk to them, teach them, continue to coach them. Keep an open mind, keep a growth mindset, keep learning. We were right there to take this one from a top 25 team. So it excites me that we're battling versus top 25 teams. We're close. We are. We're really close. We just need to get some stops now.
And how do you keep this from being a loss? It seems like you're right there to win it. There's maybe a 30-second chunk late in the game, and it kind of just gets out of your reach. How does this not become a loss that kind of trickles into next week?
I agree with you, Ben, and that's my job as a leader. And meeting with the Leadership Council, getting together with them to make sure that we compete in practice. We're dialed in with film, and then we get ready to go to Minnesota and compete on the road. That's what we have to do. But I don't disagree with what you're saying, because you're this close. Sometimes you can feel down or feel sorry for yourselves. And I'll touch on that. Nobody feels sorry for us. Nobody. They're happy we're losing. We just got to keep getting better. It's going to flip.
Coach, it looked like towards the end of the first half, you were transitioning from sometimes throwing it into a 2-3 zone into more of a man, and that sparked what was a bit of a run and some momentum for the team. Was that a conscious decision to switch from the zone to the man, and if so, why was that?
A few things. Their personnel. Josh Reeves was in a little bit of foul trouble, but just try to mix it up, just so they wouldn't get comfortable. That's my job, is to keep Iowa off balance. But obviously, 89 points is a lot, so we got to do a better job.
Pat, you guys had made 10 free throws up to that point when Mike went to the line and he missed both there when down one. What's his mindset like after the game, and what is the team's message to him after that?
Keep putting yourself in that situation. You know, he's playing hard. He was rebounding. He's doing some really good things on the offensive end for us. We need Mike on both ends. That's the issue right now. I'm doing offense, defense at the end. But he put himself there. You know, hopefully he comes in. Not hopefully, I know Mike. He might be shooting free throws right now. If not, he'll be in tomorrow shooting free throws.
And Ra as well. He played just 6 minutes the other night against Michigan State, didn't have a bucket. And tonight, it seemed like he was playing with a little more aggression and a little more toughness on offense. He wasn't settling for deep jump shots like he has been in the past. He was driving and attacking. What do you think of his response tonight?
I thought his response was great. I was really proud of him. After Michigan State and not really earning the minutes that he would like, he came out and really competed, really worked hard the last couple of days in practice. Has been in the gym shooting. And then in practice, you could see that he wasn't happy about it. So he really responded. And that's a big step for a freshman. That's a big step because hasn't been shooting the ball really well, and his minutes get cut. So you can one of two ways here, and he chose the other way. He chose to compete and get after it and earn his minutes back.
And Myron didn't play tonight. Was that a decision that was just based on the game flow, or was that something before the game you had?
I just thought Jamari was playing really well, and the emergence of Kyle McCluskey gave us a little toughness. You know, it's tough. You know, MJ's got to keep working, and he will. MJ's a really great kid and is super talented, but he's got to keep working because Kyle's bringing us something a little bit different.
Pat, recently, obviously you guys want to push the ball, but recently we've seen when you get into half-court sets, as you're working the ball around the perimeter, kind of settling for shots sometimes and some lazy turnovers. Why are you able to avoid that tonight?
I thought we played through the clock. It was a phrase I was using, play through the clock, and I thought we did a good job of that because sometimes the ball sticks, and the ball wasn't sticking tonight. I thought we had some good flow, reversed the ball. We had some really good paint touches. I thought we got really quality shots. But unfortunately, our defense left us a little bit.
Where do you want to see Mike improve defensively? He gets his blocks, but there are a couple other areas he could maybe improve. Do you try and get him better in those areas, or do you just say as he sort of reacclimates to just go do what you do and work on the rest of it?
Yeah, it's one day at a time. It really is. One day at a time, making sure he's whole, making sure he's a good frame of mind. And we do have to develop better habits for him. You know, ball screen defense. I thought Garza and Nick Ward the last two games really did a better job of sealing than what we were trying to teach him and John. But, you know, our job is to get these kids better. And I think Mike's very receptive to getting better, especially after the last two games. So as long as he comes in with that mindset, we'll keep teaching him.
It seems like in all of these close losses in the Big Ten, there's been one thing that kind of stands out tonight. Maybe it's Lamar's shooting. He's 4 of 18 against Indiana early in the season. It's 15 missed free throws against Maryland. It's Ant Cowan making 2 big three-pointers at the end. How do you manage having one little thing that maybe sticks out and overcoming that and winning these close games?
Because it's not one thing. It's the 65 possessions, 70 possessions that are in a game. You got to be able to win more possessions. You know, the game's a game of mistakes, so we have to have less mistakes versus the next opponent. And then we need guys to step up. I thought Josh stepped up offensively. I thought Miles and Ross stepped up offensively. We did some good things. But just like you said, free throws, it's always something. But I think the ball is going to – we got to earn the right for the ball to bounce our way. And then we got to put more pressure on officials to get ourselves to the free throw line.
And just one last thing on Miles. It seems like he's found maybe a little bit of a rhythm lately on both ends of the floor. Obviously, he hits a couple three-pointers in the first half. How have you seen him progress and maybe find that consistency that you're looking for? And maybe how's that an example for Rajir and Myron as well?
Yeah, I think it's Miles' approach. You know, let me tell you something about Miles. We took him out of the starting lineup, and he responded. That's why he's back in the starting lineup. We reduced Ra's minutes and took him out of, and he responded. So that bodes well for Penn State basketball in our future with these freshmen. That excites me. But Miles is doing it on both ends. He's rebounding. He's in the right position. He's talking. Because sometimes when you get fatigued or you're missing shots or things aren't going your way, you don't talk anymore, right? You're not in stances. But he continues to develop those habits.
Coach, you guys have a week between these Minnesota and Rutgers games next week. What are you guys looking to do with this break in time to kind of, do some work on yourselves and get yourself in a better situation going into the back half of this Big Ten slate?
You're a little ahead of me. You're a little ahead of me because I'm trying to go one day at a time here. But we'll gauge. We'll see what's Saturday. If we're competing and giving ourselves a chance, we'll give them a couple days to really recharge and re-energize and get healthy. You guys are battered and bruised. So maybe 2 days off, something like that. Maybe some individuals on Tuesday and really get back to work Wednesday. And, of course, stay on top of our academics because we are traveling a little bit.
Pat, you mentioned putting yourself in a position to have the referees give you calls. When Mike was fouled on the alley-oop, I guess they were looking for an intentional foul possibly. What explanation did they give you on that?
Well, it's a little different when it's a breakaway and he's going up and he's defenseless. He didn't feel like he was defenseless. He didn't feel like that was egregious. So I'm going to have to agree with him. I don't have a choice.